Hello, this is part 3 of my videos with my everyday enchantment deck looking at death and bereavement, and I can't believe I'm doing this, I really can't, it seems like I'm being normal, and I'll turn this camera off at the end of this and I will be so broken again and so devastated and so totally in pain in all respects, and yet I'll feel like I've done something, because this might be useful at some point. It might be useful when somebody close to you is bereaved. It might give you some insights. It might be useful for when you're bereaved. It might give you some I am just hoping. I don't want to do anything that's just for me, Yes, this makes me feel a bit better because I'm doing something useful, but I just don't want it to be about me. If I leave this reality thinking that I just did things that were about me, I shall be extremely disappointed with myself, because the whole point of what I'm trying to communicate here is about my ethos, is about being authentic and about being kind. On that note, let's just finish this off, shall we? So we're looking at my everyday enchantment deck and things that might relate to either being bereaved or to dealing with somebody who is bereaved. Even the word bereaved sounds kind of twee, doesn't it? And we have such poor words for things that try and gloss over, try and make things nice, try and make them easier to deal with. Yeah, but that's what we've got, so yes, we understand the word bereavement. We will stick with that. Okay, so over here in the corner we have the Hanged Man. Why is the Hanged Man there? Well, if you focus on my Hanged Man card, you will see in the background all that kind of frustrated head clutching because things haven't gone the way that they should. Everything's gone wrong, the bus is not coming, everybody's going to be late. It's a bit of a kind of, the child is screaming, everybody's frustrated because things have not gone the way that they should go. And yet our Hanged Man is just flipping it around and being suspended between what's going on and his understanding of the fact that it doesn't really matter, because matter is where we are. This is the material, it is matter, but it doesn't matter because ultimately we are immaterial, we are not of this realm, we are just having an experience. And so he's there, and that's where we might find ourselves. That's where I've found myself, kind of just suspended in that state of knowing that I am in absolute emotional torment for my loss, but also knowing that it is just an experience, and that is kind of that betwixt and between, holding that space between the knowing of who we really are and being the person that we actually are at the minute. So that's why the Hanged Man's there. The Six of Cups is because of the lady in the background. We have the lovely children enjoying their tea party. We have the sad person in the background who is dwelling on her past and times that once were, her happy times that are past and will never come again, and she's melancholy and mournful and she's looking backwards. And I think there's a whole thing that I've noticed is like looking forward, going forward, moving on. Well, sometimes you just want to stay where you are for a bit and reflect and remember, and you should not be pushed on from that, because there are no right moves with this. There's no time scale. Everybody is different. Somebody wants to talk over their past with you, or to stay in that past for a while and to remember all of those things, and not necessarily in a, how wasn't that a funny memory kind of way, then that's fine. I have noticed with me writing the eulogy for Gary's funeral, which is going to be utterly nightmarish if I can manage to do it, if I can gather my bravery and strength for him to do it. But I've noticed that the whole kind of thing there was to make a eulogy or a speech that dwelled on the good happy times and the uplifting memories and funny stories, and that's all great, but I can't do that. That's not me. Not to say that mine's all kind of doom and gloom. It isn't. It's dwelling on all the good things, but it's not happy clappy, and it's not glossing over the fact that I have lost my soul, love. Hello. This is an empty room, by the way. So there you go. That was something. There you go. And now there's a magpie outside the window. But moving on. 8 of Cups. Gary was terrified of single magpies, by the way. He had that whole spit and salute thing going on like my mum did. It's like, well, it's a magpie. He's just a magpie. No, I must spit and salute. Magpie means... Well, there you go. Anyway, I digress. 8 of Cups. Why is that there? Well, because she is walking away from that towards something else. Now, that's how you might feel. It's how I feel all the time. It's like, I just can't do this. I can't do this. And maybe that means that, if you're lucky, somebody else will help you get through those I can't do this moments. Or maybe it means that you just literally do have to walk away from them because, again, it's the material world and it doesn't matter. What matters is your spiritual, for want of a better word, your soul, your spirit, your inner essence, your emotional being needs to have what it needs, and the rest of it can wait, really, and that's fine. So that's why that there's probably more reasons why that one's there, but that's for now. Right, this is a 5 of Coins, and this is the one with the people outside of the window in the snow pressing against the glass while the other people are inside having a good time. Now, I remember the story that I wrote to go with this one is that this woman here that I'm focusing on, that's inside winning all the coins and going yay, turning her back on the people outside having a bad time, is like very much, well, I don't want to be reminded, I've had bad times, I've been through that, I've gone through that, I don't want to be reminded of that, thank you. And I've heard that myself too. It's like I can tell that, well, I've been through that and I'm fine, moving on. No. Maybe that's how some people deal with it, but maybe it's not the best way of dealing with it. And in the end of this woman's story, in the 5 of Coins, in the accompanying book, there, she does realise that she has to turn around, however hard it is, and however much it reminds her of her past pain, she has to turn around and help those people because, she has got empathy and she has got compassion, and she just needed a bit of reminding. And she needs to sort of put herself aside and to focus on somebody else. That's what she needs to do, probably. That's not putting her down in any way. Of course, we've had bad times, we don't want to go back to them, but, I think I'll just leave that one there, really, because you can think about that yourself. What would you do in that situation? All of these cards ask us that question, don't they? What would you do in that situation? What would you say? What would that card say to that card? What would you say to that card? What does it mean to you? I don't want to be prescriptive about everything. Anyway, 7 of Blades. You may feel like something has been stolen from you. That's true, and that's part of the anger and the resentment. I've heard somebody say very recently that they felt very bitter and angry towards people who were elderly couples. It's like, well, why did you get to keep him and I didn't get to keep my husband who died when he was much younger? We feel like something has been robbed. We've been robbed. It wasn't meant to be like this. A bit like the people in Hangman. It wasn't meant to be like this. We can't deal with it. Rather than remembering who we are, what we are, and just accepting. So this is a phase, this is part of bereavement, this is part of, it's just a natural part of it. We feel like it wasn't meant to go like this, bad things aren't meant to happen, la la la, I can't hear you, we've been robbed. So yes, that's all a natural part of it, and so that's why I've included it. And again, we may not have this happy 10 of Coins family to support us, might not have any family to support us at all, and we might feel resentment about that, or we may take great comfort in it, and if we are part of that person's family, we should draw close, to them at this time, because it's all about love, like the Empress with her open arms. Open your arms, no matter how inconvenient and difficult it is for you. Sorry if I'm sounding a little bit kind of dictatorial there, but it sort of frustrates me a bit. You know, it's very easy, I think, if we're heart-centred and not self-centred, if we're focused on the greater self rather than the individual self and the needs of that self. And it doesn't take much. It just does not take much. You know, even if we're not part of somebody's actual blood family, we can act as if we are. I had that said to me quite recently, you know, you're not my blood, but you're my family. And that was such an important thing to hear. Very important. So, yes, and I thank that person very much for saying that. Why have I included the Nine of Wands? Because we may feel like the walking wounded. I haven't actually been outside since Gary passed away. I've been outside the back door, but I haven't been outside. Yeah, because I just feel like, no, too raw, too broken, too raw. Can't be normal. Can't pretend to be normal because I just am. I wish I was an actor. I've always been an absolutely useless actor. You know, perhaps if I was a slightly better one, then I would be able to pull it off. But you know, I think I just emanate whatever I feel. I'm like a big bundle of intensity, and that just makes people run away from the intense, broken person. And so, yeah, there's the poppy down there. My little poppy. Yes, so I haven't even done that. So how I'm going to face this funeral, which is coming up. Yeah, watch this space. That remains to be seen. It's like that, but I'm doing that for Gary and not for me. That's why I'm gonna. It'd be very much easier to just put myself to bed rather than putting myself aside and doing it to honour him. So yeah, sometimes I sound like I'm being very self-righteous. Well, I'm doing this and I can do that, and no, I'm not. I'm you know, I'm the person that can't even go outside. Let's be honest. I'm very, very, very broken, and I am not strong. I'm not as strong as this person who has picked himself up and is walking past the people who bullied him with no support except for his crutch. And you know, even the girl in the background who's wanting to help isn't helping him. So he is courage on legs, basically, which I'm not. So there's no way that I'm talking in these videos like that I'm kind of shining example. I'm just trying to offer some encouragement, some ideas and so forth, because I'm really not a shining example of anything. But I am hopefully loving, and that's what matters. So, and also I have empathy, and that's probably even more important. I don't know why cards have got sympathy written on them, because sympathy is just like, empathy is knowing or trying to know how that person feels. Go there. That's a whole different thing. Why is justice there? Well, justice kept cropping up a lot when I was going through these cards. This card just kept going, you must put me in, because we feel there has been a great injustice. The balance of the universe has been disrupted because this person was not meant to die yet. They were not meant to leave us. They were not meant to go. There is no justice. Well, we can't really know that because we are still stuck in this nuts and bolts reality where everything is very stuck. The only way we can get any insight is by getting guidance from the unseen, which when we're very deeply bereaved is very hard to do, because signs and things, dreams, tend to dry up when we most need them, because we're just too our energy is just so haywire and blocked with pain and hurting that we tend not to get the messages that we need. But we need to go back to our basic fundamental understanding of how things are, that we are not this body, we are not this person, we are just having an experience. And we will know one day what it all means, but sadly we just have to accept at the moment. Like this one, I've skipped a couple of cards here, but there we go. Judgment. Yes, very much sort of a way, it's kind of moving on from there being justice, because there isn't always justice in this world. We know that. Awful things happen to good people, lovely things happen to people that don't really deserve them. It's all over the place, and we don't really understand it at the moment. But if we hold our innate knowing of the true nature of reality and what we are, then we will get the messages eventually. She's turned round from drowning her sorrows and blocking things out and perhaps being in emotional pain. She's turning towards the messenger to hear. We might not understand still, even when we get messages, we might still not understand, but we will gain a reminder. All that lovely floral burp coming out of the trumpet is a reminder of beauty, of compassion, of empathy, of acceptance of the nature of our home, our true home, the source, that all that is, the infinite awareness, that place of great acceptance which we come from and then we return to. And so we will get reminders of that when we are less hurt. It's a bit of a sad thing, really, that when we're in our most need that we can't pick these things up, but they do come. I know from experience that they do come. Not for me yet with Gary. I'm too deeply in it, but they have come with my parents after they passed away. I had to wait quite a while, but I did get that when I was able to receive the messages again, because let's face it, you're not in any fit state when it really happens. So let's conclude. Page of Cups is there because she's just gorgeous, and not in a physical sense gorgeous. I don't talk about that. I mean, she's gorgeous in a heart sense, in an inner sense. Her inner being is gorgeous. She loves you. She wants to tell you she loves you. She is pure, unadulterated empathy, compassion and love, and she is not afraid to show it. That's why she's there. Only 2 to go. Hooray for you. I don't even know how I can laugh. I think it's because I'm talking with you, and I really feel like I'm talking with you, even though I'm talking at you. I wish I was talking with you properly in a conversation, because I don't talk at people when I'm actually with them. I can assure you I listen. I like to listen. This person here in the 4 of Cups, this friend, he's a listener. He's a great listener. He's a quiet listener. He is a patient soul who is offering his friend, who is suffering with deep despair, ennui, disillusionment, whatever. He might just be bored, but he could be going through any number of things, and his friend is there for him, waiting patiently to offer him that clear water when he's ready to accept it, because he's already spilled all his coffee. He's got no interest in anything. But that friend will be there, and he will wait, and he will listen, and he will not try and move that person on until he is ready. He's just a good soul. So, finally, this is what we all want, isn't it? Or sort of a version of this, the 10 of Cups. That wonderful, loving culmination of having a loving, stable home surrounded by beauty, with people that we love, with creatures that we love, with the whole, in a place that we love. This is the ideal. And so often we don't get that, and then we start to feel all of the other kind of been robbed, and it's injustice and so forth. Yes, and those are phases you may go through every day, but coming back to, this is not necessarily representative, 10 of Cups, of a physical state in this reality. It can be about attaining those things in this reality, but it also reminds us of the home beyond this place. The home that we go back to, that our loved ones go back to, that all the creatures go back to, that all souls go back to, that place of indescribable, from people who have had near-death experiences. Yeah, they all say the same thing. Indescribable colours and indescribable music. Unfathomable amounts of love, just acceptance, beauty, understanding, being welcomed home. That even if they can't stay there because they've got to come back and do something here, they have that experience to bring back with them. That's what that card can stand for, and I think that is somewhere to end this video on, because it is not focusing on anything that could be considered negative. It is a reminder that whatever we are going through, I'm talking to myself now as well, whatever we're going through here is all a reflection of love, really, because all the pain we feel from losing somebody is only a reflection of how much we love them. And in the end, that's all there is. Infinite love is all there is, really, beyond this. This is just an illusion. This is a dream. This is a dream of life that we wake up from. This is the experience that we learn from. Beyond this is an unfathomable, wonderful, beyond words experience. That's the true experience. This is the real home. I hope I'm getting that across to you. It's what I feel. So, yes, I hope you don't feel like you've been talked at or preached at or lectured in any shape or form. That wasn't my intention. Please cut me a bit of, whatever, because I am deeply grieving and I'm doing this in that grief, and so I might not be doing it as perfectly as I'd like to, and it's all been from the heart, off the cuff, wobbly woo, but it's been for you, and I hope there's been something in there somewhere. Something, one thing, just one thing, I hope. That's all I'm here for, really. That's what my experience is about. It's just to remind you of infinite love, and to encourage you to be empathy and kindness, and to remind you that you are one with all your relations, and not to be afraid of emotion or... Yeah, I think I've said enough, haven't I? And we're running out of time. 3 videos of over 20 minutes is quite enough to ask of anybody. But I don't know when I'll be making one again, so maybe I'm getting very croaky now too. So, that's all from me. I hope it won't be all from me altogether, but who knows? Who knows what will happen? I'm just glad I was able to do this. I love you, and I want the best for you, and I hope that I've done something for you in all the videos that I've made and all the work that I've done. I hope there's been something in there for you, because that's all that matters. Okay? Lots of love, stay free, and look after each other. Bye.